Hi classic bodybuilding fans, in this video I'm going to show you Arnold Schwarzenegger's real shoulder workout to develop cannonball deltoids. The size of the deltoids is decisive in the overall image of a physique, and in addition to being wide, the shoulders should look muscular and bulky, and show the three heads that made them up. The front, lateral, and rear deltoid have to be balanced. Symmetry and proportion requires that all three heads be developed, which in turn makes the upper part of the body more impressive. The development of enormous deltoids allows us to create the illusion of greater width. In his shoulder workout, Arnold performed two press exercises to increase the muscle mass and strength of the deltoids in general. One of them being the one he always used, the Arnold Press, which was a dumbbell press with rotation, which said by Arnold himself placed more emphasis on the front head of the deltoid at the bottom of the press. Arnold preferred to do this exercise sitting since it was more rigorous and allows the deltoids to be better isolated. Likewise, this position put less stress on the lower back. One trick Arnold used to maximize efficiency in dumbbell presses was to rotate his wrist so that his little finger was on a higher plane than his thumb at the top of the movement. In his training, it was more common to see him doing the military press behind the neck with a bar, that were the deltoids in general. Arnold used a grip a little wider than shoulder width, since this prevents the blockage at the end of the press, which facilitates muscle isolation by maintaining constant tension in the deltoids. Moving on to the lateral exercises, the one that Arnold always used was the standing lateral dumbbell raises. This is an excellent exercise for the lateral head, in which the technique must be respected at all times throughout the entire course. Doing it as Arnold did, which was raising the dumbbell a little above the shoulder line, allows you to isolate the lateral head and work the posterior head a little. For me, this version is the best, since this way I can feel the lateral head perfectly throughout the entire movement. In pumping iron and in photos, you can see him doing this exercise sitting. Doing it this way reduces the impulse that we can do with the body, but making the movement more strict. Standing front raises with dumbbells. This exercise is fantastic for the front head of the deltoid. In this exercise, Arnold also used a different technique, which consists of raising the dumbbell completely until it is in the final position of a press. In this way, the wrist is above the head, isolating the work despite the redundancy of the frontal head. Although in the upper part of the movement, the trapezius also intervene, but to a lesser extent. Incline dumbbell lateral raises. This is a very good exercise to isolate and work the posterior head of the deltoids. By leaning over while performing a lateral, you force the posterior head of the deltoid to work more directly. Doing it sitting allows you to do a tighter movement than when you're standing. Now we move into the trapezius exercises, the upright row being one of the ones he has been seen doing the most. This exercise is to develop the trapezius and the front deltoids and create separation between the deltoids and pectorals. This is an exercise that you must do strictly, without cheating when raising the weight, keeping your body still and making sure you feel the traps working. The next exercise is the dumbbell shrugs. This exercise should be done heavy to develop the thickness of the trapezius, which will help you in your back poses. In his shoulder workout, Arnold had a wide variety of exercises to choose from, mentioning the military press with barbell, the military front press in a Smith machine, the conventional dumbbell press, the lateral raises with one arm on a pulley, the lateral raises seated on a pulley, a very good exercise to attack the posterior head of the deltoid, incline lateral raises, and another exercise for the posterior deltoid done by Arnold in my favorite movie, Pumping Iron, becoming one of my favorites, which is lying lateral raises. The exercise can look uncomfortable, but it's quite the opposite with this exercise. The brutal congestion that you can get is incredible without having to use so much weight. And for trapezius, Arnold could also be seen doing the barbell shrugs. Thank you very much for watching this devastating shoulder workout. If you like the video, you can help me by giving it a like and subscribing to continue spreading classic bodybuilding. I also recommend you watch the other Arnold workouts that I have on the channel. Take care of yourself and keep training hard.